Hey everyone, it's Drayton from Virtual Railfan. I'm looking a little different in today's episode of the Inside Track. Just like an old locomotive, my shirt is patched today, but that's okay. I'm ready for work and I'm ready to share some exciting news about Virtual Railfan, including a new location announcement in this video. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and have a good morning with me here as we talk all things trains at Virtual Railfan. So this past weekend, we live streamed from our studio here in East Tennessee. We took the inside track to Horseshoe Curve, Crescent, which is one of our newest locations, in Johnstown, PA, to watch as the big boy 4014 made its way back west over Norfolk Southern's Pittsburgh line in a move that really hasn't been seen in many, many years, not really since the American Freedom Train in 1976. Of course, as many of you know by now, the big boy's journey to the East Coast, to Philadelphia, PA, is in celebration of our country's 250th birthday with the signing of the Declaration, being actually on July 2nd, fun fact. But July 4th is really when it became known throughout the colonies that we had announced independence from the United Kingdom. So really cool that Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern came together to make this event happen, and wouldn't have been possible without the amazing STEAM team at Union Pacific and also Norfolk Southern's logistics people and marketing people who have been involved in this for over a year. It's been a long time coming, and I tell you, it was all culminated with the Horseshoe Curve trip. They brought the big boy to the National Historic Landmark, the visitor center there. Ed Dickens got off the locomotive, shook hands, and met with the rail fans that were there. I think they limited it to 2,000 people in the park, but we're really grateful to the Altoona Railroaders Memorial Museum for letting us be able to live stream that historic event. We were able to bring that particular moment to over 10,000 people across the world, in addition to the 2,000 that were there. And just an incredible moment. The Amtrak train came by and met with the big boy. And then not long after that, they backed the big boy back down the curve and ran it around for a beautiful photo run by with some wheel slippage. It was just an amazing moment, one that we'll never see most likely again, and possibly, just a once in a lifetime thing. So who knows, we'll see what happens if the Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern merger go through. But to put on a cross-country tour like this from Cheyenne, Wyoming, all the way out to Philadelphia, PA and back, it's just mind-boggling to think about how much work went into it. But it was so cool to see it unfold on the world-famous Horseshoe Curve. And then about 30 minutes later, the big boy made an appearance in Crescent, which is where one of our newest locations on the Station Inn is now live streaming. You can watch that now on YouTube and on the Virtual Railfan platform at virtualrailfan.com. We're so happy to be in Crescent, and it's all thanks to our good friend Alex Lang, who's just a phenomenal host, and he's really making a lot of improvements to the Station Inn. So if you're a rail fan, you're looking to take a trip to Horseshoe Curve or Altoona, or just rail fanning in that area in general, stay at the Station Inn, but make sure you make reservations well in advance. You will not regret it. There's a front porch that you can just sit back in the shade and watch the trains roll by. You literally could not ask for a better place to just enjoy a vacation watching trains than the Station Inn. So we watched the big boy leave with thousands of people there present in Crescent, and then it made its way to Johnstown. Now we thought that it was going to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours between Crescent and Johnstown, but they made it between the 2 points in under an hour, and it was really cool because we saw the big boy come around that curve on the track that's closest to where the camera is set up. And it was funny because Ed Dickens, man, the guy's out there saving lives. He's been using the steam valve underneath the cab to push people back from the tracks, and that's exactly what happened here in Johnstown. People were just too close and opened up that steam valve, and it quickly got everybody pushed back. I saw another scene, and I can't remember if it was in Crescent or Johnstown, but it wasn't recorded from our live cameras. It was just someone else's video, and people were just standing way, way, way too close, like in the gauge of the other main line. And they were watching the big boy go by, and then you could hear a Norfolk Southern train in the opposite direction just blowing the horn like crazy, people weren't paying attention. So Ed opened that steam valve and everybody pushed back away from the track, and the freight train had a clear path to come through. So Ed, he literally saved those people's lives. And you know, just want to take a moment to say, folks, it's so important on Big Boy's steam tour, not just Big Boy, but any steam locomotive, to stay at least 25 feet back. First of all, if you're closer than that, you're not going to get a good picture. I've seen so many vertical cell phone videos, like just everyone's up there and they're just, first of all, video is a horizontal format, not a vertical format, but they're filming vertically, and all you see is just this small picture and these giant driving wheels. You don't really get to appreciate how massive the locomotive is up close. And when you're further back, you can see just how long the Big Boy is. You can see all the driving wheels. And of course, you can see the crew in the cab. A lot of people miss that, and they're the most important part of the Big Boy is the crew. And we want to make sure that the crew is safe, the public is safe. So I just want to drop this PSA, folks. Please stay at least 25 feet back. Ed Dickens even had to stop the locomotive at some point to chew somebody out for literally standing like 1 foot off of the railhead and standing there right as the Big Boy was coming at him. And thankfully they were going at a slow speed, but I've seen so many scary videos like that. And you know, we want the Big Boy to come home safe, and we want everyone who comes out to see the Big Boy to get back home safe. So please heed to that 25-foot back rule and respect the railroads, because honestly, you know, people getting too close to the locomotive, they might not want to do things like this again in the future, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So please be respectful of the 25-foot rule. So that's basically it as far as the Big Boy goes. I will mention that it did go through Fostoria, Ohio this morning as we're recording this video, and it was on display there the night before. There were so many people, they actually had to turn some folks away. But you'll get a chance to see the Big Boy as it makes its way across Indiana. I'm going to be back in the Chicago area. And then the next time folks will get to see the Big Boy on the virtual Railfan network is in St. Louis. It'll be crossing over the MacArthur Bridge, which is, you know, we dropped that camera earlier. And we want to remind folks that St. Louis right now is available as a free preview on YouTube. At the end of July, that camera, both of the St. Louis cameras will be available to Virtual Railfan platform members only. So if you don't have a virtualrailfan.com account, go on over to virtualrailfan.com/join. You'll be able to watch the St. Louis camera after it goes behind the paywall. Same thing with Seattle, Washington. Seattle went live last month, and it's going to go back behind the paywall. That is an exclusive location to the Virtual Railfan platform. So get signed up. You won't regret it. It's the best way to watch trains live. But going back to St. Louis, the Big Boy will be going through there. Very soon we'll pop the date up on the screen here so you can see it. And then it's making a stop in St. Louis on public display. And then after that, you'll get to see it again going through Kansas City through Santa Fe Junction. So we're actually working right now to get the camera replaced there so you have a much better and clearer view of the Big Boy as it comes across that iconic location. And then, of course, the Big Boy is going to be going through Greeley. The last day of this cross-country tour, it's going to be going through Greeley and passing by the Colorado Model Railroad Museum, where one of our cameras is located. Big Boy goes through there all the time. It's one of the reasons why we located cameras there. And then making its final stretch on the way back home to Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is a location we dropped in last weekend's Inside Track. If you haven't seen it yet, Cheyenne is amazing. It's at the Depot Museum there, a National Historic Landmark. Absolutely beautiful depot. And the folks there at the depot are wonderful to work with. I want to give a shout to Desiree, who's been instrumental, and Sarah, who's been instrumental in bringing Virtual Railfan to Cheyenne. And the cool thing is every time the Big Boy comes and goes, you'll get to watch it live from our Cheyenne camera. So head on over to the Cheyenne stream. It's available as a free preview now here on YouTube. And then also on the Virtual Railfan platform, you'll get to see the Big Boy homeward bound. So that's all of our Big Boy news. And before we get into our new location announcement, I just want to remind everyone that the National Train Show, the NMRA Scenic City Convention 2026, is going to be right here in our backyard in Chattanooga, Tennessee. some of you might know Virtual Railfan is located just outside of Chattanooga in Cleveland, Tennessee. We actually share the same building as Scale Trains, and Scale Trains is going to be running a excursion from the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum in Chattanooga down to Summerville, Georgia and back. They've got some really exciting announcements planned in Summerville, new product announcements that you'll want to learn more about. And the train ride's really cool. Riders are actually going to get a special gift, those who decide to ride the train. I think there are a few seats still available, so head on over to the Scale Trains website to reserve your seats while there's still room. But there's also going to be a tour of the Virtual Railfan and Scale Trains headquarters here in Cleveland, Tennessee as part of the convention. So if you want to come and hang out with Mike and I and Justin and Chris and Reese, we'll be here for that event. So come on up and spend some time with us at the National Train Show. We'll also be exhibiting at the National Train Show in the Convention Center downtown Chattanooga, where you can actually participate in the Inside Track Live. We're going to be going live. We'll be interviewing folks from different manufacturers and different railroads, and of course some of our viewers. You can sit down and we can talk trains together. It's a great time, and we really hope to see you there. All right, so that is the end of our newsy news stuff, as my grandma would like to say. So time to announce our newest location. We're super excited about this one. I am really excited about this one. It's been a long time coming. At the 2026 Amherst Railway Society show in Springfield, Massachusetts, West Springfield, Massachusetts, we actually had a father and son who traveled thousands of miles to go to that train show, and they came up to our booth and they said, "We really want a live train camera in our home state." And I said, "Well, where is your home state?" And they said, "Utah." That's right, folks. Virtual Railfan is locating our first live train camera in the Beehive State in Salt Lake City, and it overlooks one of the busiest railroad junctions in the entire state. There's a ton of action. There's BNSF, Union Pacific, the commuter train that runs through Salt Lake City, as well as Amtrak. There's a fixed camera, there's a PTZ camera. Pretty much every mainline train that runs through the state of Utah goes right through here. And it wouldn't have been possible without our friends and our hosts from the Utah Art Alliance, who graciously allowed us to mount our cameras there. We're so excited to be in Salt Lake City, and can't wait to share it with you. So you'll have to head on over to virtualrailfan.com /join, and our members are going to get to see the camera first, the cameras, I should say. They'll get to see both cameras first for a week, and then after that, we will make the cameras public as a free preview on YouTube for at least the next 2 weeks after that. So really cool. If you want to see the Utah Salt Lake City camera, head on over to virtualrailfan.com /join so you can check it out today. Well, folks, we hope you enjoy the new Salt Lake camera, as well as many of our other new locations. We've been dropping them left and right, and we have more to come, believe it or not. We have some pretty exciting ones in the pipeline, and we got some in states that we have very few cameras coming. That's all I can say, and we might be taking it to the streets here pretty soon, if you know what I mean. That's a little teaser for you. So with that said, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been the Inside Track. I'm your host, Drayton Blackrow. We'll see you next time. Happy railroading, everybody.